as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
Set! 19! 44. They're not ready for this, man.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Watson now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
The Texans send the punter out. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He'll look to set up his blockers. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10.
Let's go. 70. Indy. Record.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. First and 15. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. 61. Match box flight.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On the return, it's Kamara. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
Have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Be a long day for you.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
To throw is Watson. And he's able to find Diggs. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Watson. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Again, it's Watson. And that's complete. It's Watson. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. To the air yet again, Watson. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Watson looks to throw again. He can run for it, and he will. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the 1st down marker. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football? It says finish on it, because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Move off horses.
2nd and 5. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
After the interception, here's Watson. Out to his left. And his throw is incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Jalen Ramsey right there in coverage to knock it away.
He was defended by Jalen Ramsey.
And this one is right down the middle. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 32-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Out.
On 1st down, Broughton takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. 6-0 our score after 1.
Ready? 90, Wolf. Look at me. Door, fire.
On 2nd down now, Broughton looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Down. 30 base.
54 Mike. Let him know.
Snap.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
Ready? 50. Plant. 54. Clear. Get it.
They'll run on 1st down. Broughton. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Okay, ready?
Mike, 54 Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch the run.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
The Texans send the punter out, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. It's taken to the 26. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. We'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. That's all you're looking for.
And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
At the 48-yard line.
Let's go. 15 line. 15 line. 54.
He'll drop to throw. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
First down, Jacksonville.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Now a carry here for the fullback. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
On the ready.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now back to throw. Buying time. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Incomplete from the contact. Let's hear it, Texans fans, because it's 3rd.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Black. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Banks. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now it's Watson. Looking deep downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Set. 19. 552.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson, he'll take his shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. A shotgun snap for Watson. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength. It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard, and while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Black. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This one fielded at the 5. A nice little juke. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Their own 26-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
44. Mike, 44.
Watson now to throw. Going deep for Diggs. It's caught inside the 25. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Back and go full strip. Where's 52? Watch 52. 52's the Mike. Hey, Mike, 52. 65.
Out of the gun, Watson. Going deep for Diggs. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Back to throw, Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
Pulled in at the 24. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
23 yards on the play. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw here. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh. Topper. Hey, high 7.
Second and 6. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 7. And a Jaguar first down.
Ready.
And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. They'll drop the throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. At a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Second and goal at the 5-yard line.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Babies cry all the way back home.
Check 3.
Check safety.
Hey, Charlie.
They'll set up the throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 5-yard touchdown as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
A very important extra point there, up and good. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's second and 21. Now Watson. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Texans on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be third and forever. From the gun, here's Watson. And that will be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where...
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, tight down.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robertson. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A gain there of 21 yards.
Ready? 18 gain.
Here we go, D. Here I go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Right there. 54, right there.
Move. Now.
Mike 54. It's our time.
Defense.
Looking to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And it's 3rd down.
Got it.
54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. It's our field.
Ready.
Back to throw. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guy's going downfield to catch the ball.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Josh Allen in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. Two huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on second down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die fourth down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run with their fullback. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Let's go. 10 Lobo.
54.
Recon, 132 fighter.
On 2nd down, Broughton. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. So this will be a win for Jacksonville, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Jaguars, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Houston, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah, they took it to 10. Yeah, okay, 30,000.